Good evening to all of you here. My name is Lakshmi Iyer. I'm from the Euclid Township. I'm standing here in front of you because of intersectionality. I'm an immigrant. I'm a person of color. I'm a mother. I'm a mother of special needs children. I come from oppressors. I am oppressed. I navigate the boundaries of race and color within the four walls of my home every single day. All this to say, my lived experiences compel me to speak up in favor of a vibrant diversity, equity, and inclusion curriculum in our school district. I would like to share with you personal anecdotes which I hope will drive home the necessity for talking about uncomfortable topics within the realm of the school system. A few years ago, my now 7-year-old was playing with friends in the neighborhood. My child was explicitly asked to play the role of a servant because her skin was brown and brown people are servants. I heard about this a few days later. I let it pass. I let it pass because children at that age are still absorbing everything organically. What they watch on television, what they hear around them, all inform their conversation. I do not believe there is malice as much as not understanding the nuance of what's being said. In 2017, my older two children, who are white, came back from school one day proclaiming we could no longer have tacos in our home or eat tacos on Tuesdays. I was puzzled as we are not from Mexico. I don't make Mexican food at home. If any, the takeout that we get from our local Mexican eatery is confined to burritos and quesadillas. A little probing revealed a lot more. There had been some conversation in class where children were asked to share where they came from, and my twins said New Mexico. They were asked to go back, and they were told they couldn't have tacos on Tuesdays. We laughed awkwardly. That night, I sat down my children, showed them their birthplace on a map, and explained things that I had hoped to put away until they were much older. So when someone says, I don't see color, what they're essentially telling me is this: I don't see you. I don't see you beyond your color. They don't see that I come from a land that's a melting pot just like America. They do not care to explore and ask and find that I speak a language that's the oldest living spoken language in the world, Tamil. They are not curious enough to delve past the stereotypes of cows on street, elephant rides, and poverty porn. I am more than where I come from or what I speak at home. I am that and much more than that. Unfortunately, those who don't see color will never know one brown person from another. As a parent navigating color and race at home, I do not have the luxury of deferring hard conversations. I cannot put away talking about harsh realities of life because my children need to be children. I truly do not have this privilege here in this country. However, born as a Brahmin in India, I was a child with privilege. I did not get to hear about affirmative action until it affected me. I saw myself as the victim. All around me, I saw people being discriminated against because of the lottery of birth. It did not affect me until my family expanded to include the other. It glorified the history books I grew up on glossed over caste and class. It glorified one section of the country versus another based on the biases of a board or panel, much like the one in front of me. Thankfully for me, I was an avid reader, and books were not yet forbidden. I devoured what I could lay my hands on. I learned things not taught at school or talked about at home. I could see the disparity around me for the first time when I put myself in the shoes of another. Veering off course, I would like to mention a series on Netflix, a cringeworthy young adult show called Never Have I Ever. It's unlikely that it has an audience here, yet the show is path-breaking for an invisible minority in our district. For the first time ever, a mainstream pop culture show has a Tamil-speaking lead. She's messy, entitled, and gloriously brash. She fails, picks herself up, and moves on. She's everything my children have ever seen in white protagonists, but never in people like themselves. People like them have always been the sidekick, the trope. The gloriousness of being able to see oneself reflected in the world around us is a privilege. I only ask this board afford that privilege to all of its student body. Lived experiences cannot be dismissed. As a school board with a mission to serve all of your constituents, you cannot ignore what is staring you in the face. Yes, these decisions are hard. Yes, these decisions a small fraction of the demographic, yet they are your constituents too. They need to be heard, seen, and have the ability to see themselves reflected in the world around them. This means books that feature a diverse cast of characters. This means books and media conceived, written, directed, and played by people with lived experience. This means having teachers who understand what a gift this is to their unseen students. I end my note with a heartfelt thanks to the board, the director, the DI task force headed by Mr. Brown. I hope the school district will continue the good work and push further, even if it seems like the unpopular thing to do. Thank you.